Good evening, I'm Adrian Gobriel. We begin tonight with a question everyone asks when they're looking to jump into the real estate market. Where to buy? It's not an easy one to answer, especially when you consider the volatile real estate market right here in the GTA, across much of the country. Though the folks over at MoneySense, they've compiled some data looking at the best places to buy community by community, including right here in Toronto's Niagara neighborhood near Bathurst and Wellington, which cracked the top 10 list for best places to buy right here in Toronto proper.
It's an emotional decision, definitely. It's a very personal decision where you're going to buy your house. It's the biggest financial decision most Canadians make in their lives.
Included in the detailed report, the best places to buy in more than 2,200 communities found in Canada's 8 largest cities. The ranking is based on 3 main criteria: value, market momentum, and expert insight. They broke down Toronto and the surrounding area into 4 categories: Greater Toronto, Toronto Core, Inner Suburbs, and Outer Suburbs. Claire Brownwell and the team at MoneySense found that in almost every city, the best buys were on the outer edges of those municipalities. That was also true for the top 3 picks for Toronto Core.
Our first pick was West Hill. It's a nice neighborhood in Scarborough. It's on the water. There are lots of parks nearby, and it's still, a pick that's affordable for a lot of people. Our number 2 is Westminster Branson, so that's a North York neighborhood. It's sort of just north of Yorkdale. All of those neighborhoods along the York University extension are really heating up because that's getting, it's more convenient for people to get downtown, but you can also find a good value there because it's pretty far away from the city core. And then we have Victoria Village. That's another Scarborough pick in the east. That real estate agents told me again was a good pick for families looking for, a family home somewhere with good value.
What would you say to some of those who say, oh, well, some of these top neighborhoods might not be the best neighborhoods you want to live in the city?
Well, that's why we include the data-driven factors in there in addition to the real estate agent scores, because I think often realtors can drive you to a more established area that's already done really well, but that might mean that the momentum is already passed, that you've already missed the opportunity for the big price run-ups. So what we're hoping this ranking might do is steer people to some off-the-beaten-track, more up-and-coming neighborhoods.
The report also lists realtors' best picks. For Toronto Core, Mimico was selected for its large lots and close access to highways, though agent Bobby Pasternak says you'll need to act fast if you want to find a sound investment in an up-and-coming hood.
Mimico is definitely booming right now, and in the article it says that get in quick, and I believe quick is turning into almost done. Parkdale, Roncesvalles, that whole area surrounding that is now almost completely gentrified, and the prices have gone up. But East York is also an opportunity, I think, to get into a good home. Blake Jones area, Monarch Park, these are some areas that are gentrifying. Schools are getting more developed, and also you have great access to the city. So there are some areas to still keep an eye out on for affordability. There's still options in the city. It's not over yet.
Rogers is the parent company of both MoneySense and City. You can find the full report on citynews.ca or moneysense.ca. Now ahead on City News at 6, the best city in the entire country to buy a home. It just happens to be southwest of the Big Smoke. Confused and concerned by Toronto's volatile real estate market, as we told you earlier on City News, MoneySense has released their annual report looking at some of the best places to buy a home from city to city, from neighborhood to neighborhood, right across the entire country. Now, we also told you earlier about the top picks for Toronto's core. A recap of the top 3 coming in at number 3, Victoria Village, that's east of the Don Valley Parkway, near the planned Eglinton LRT, which is set to open in 2021. Coming in at number 2, Westminster Branson, near Bathurst and Steeles, and the number 1 spot, West Hill in Scarborough. And now for the number 1 place to buy a home in the entire country. According to the MoneySense data, well, it's not too far from the Big Smoke.
We have one that makes some people sort of raise their eyebrows and go, what, when they hear it's number 1, but that's Brantford, Ontario. So it's about 2 hours west of Toronto. It's a real turnaround story. So Brantford ran into some trouble in the 80s and 90s. They had the collapse of some major manufacturing employers. But unlike some other southwestern Ontario cities, they really managed to turn it around. They attracted advancing manufacturing employers. They attracted food processing employers. There's now a plant that makes Nutella in Brantford. And it's just somewhere that more and more people are taking a look at the housing prices there. An average new single detached home in 2017 was just over $500,000, and some people with houses worth a lot more than that in, say, Mississauga are saying, you know what, I'm going to go for more of a small town lifestyle and move to Brantford.
That can be $500,000 or more or less for a home in Brantford than you would get elsewhere in the GTA or the Golden Horseshoe.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So in the GTA, that same average new detached house price in 2017 was more than $1 million. So half the price, maybe twice the house. You can see the appeal.
Along with a strong economy, also a strong potential investment and a potential for values to increase there.
That's right, yeah. So values have actually, if you bought a house in Brantford 10 years ago, believe it or not, you would have actually done better on your investment than buying one in the GTA, the average house. That's how quickly they've gone up, just because they had so much more to go up, right, than the Toronto houses did.
And they're still relatively cheap, so that could still see a rise.
Exactly. It seems like there's still room for them to go up, definitely.
Now, Rogers is the parent company of both MoneySense and City. You can see the whole report on citynews.ca and moneysense.ca.